What's up, anime fans? It's your boy, Raysean from the Raysean Gadson Anime Podcast, or RGAP for short. And on today's episode, we have a special guest, Mauricio Ortiz-Segura, a voice actor who is known for Chillin in Another World with My Level 2 Cheat Powers, My Hero Academia, Your Next, Kaiju No. 8, and Solo Leveling. We're going to be asking him about his experience in the voiceover industry and also diving into his personal life. And finally, about how you can get into the industry. If that has sparked your interest, then sit back and enjoy the ride. And don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're listening. Before we get started, I just wanted to allow my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves. Basically, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and also tell us your favorite anime side characters and why you like them.
Yeah, my name is Mauricio Ortiz-Segura, and I am a voice actor for anime, video games, film, commercial, and every little thing, every little genre in between. As for my favorite side characters in anime, up there is definitely going to be Okuyasu from JoJo Part 4. He's a lovable idiot, that guy is. I love that guy. Another lovable side character would be Trafalgar Law from One Piece.
Okay.
Love that guy. I love the edgy boys, the boys who always have some sort of bone to pick, but are simultaneously the chillest dudes there. I really vibe with them. As for one more, I'm gonna say, side character. I was just raving about her. I love Millie Thompson from Trigun. She is a riot. She is an absolute riot every time she's on screen. Love her to death.
I think Law was an amazing pick. I just been watching One Piece the last few days, and I got to rewatch the fight with him and Blackbeard, and man, that was a pretty nice episode. And the fact that we do get to see that fight, which low-key kind of pits Blackbeard on another like tier of like, is he stronger than the emperors that they literally just fought? Because he just pit Law into the ground. But it's interesting. I think One Piece is getting to the point where it's about to be like amazing. I know it's getting close to the ending, but I just really want to see what's about to happen in this Elbaf arc and everything. The Land of the Giants seem like they've been hyping this up for a while.
Oh yeah, they've been talking about Elbaf since all the way since Little Garden. And Little Garden was years and years ago. I mean, I don't know if it was 2 decades ago. That'd be kind of crazy. Maybe it was, but it's been so long since they even introduced the idea of Elbaf. And to think that barely like maybe just over 2 decades later, we're finally seeing it. I mean, I'm so excited for it. There's so much stuff that can be explored, like all that stuff that's happening with Loki in Helheim, all that stuff. And I love the way that they're sort of doing the Norse mythology thing with like, they have like their level of what the surface is, even though technically like the normal, like whatever they call Earth, like whatever their thing, the ocean is like technically below their ocean. It's like, whoa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, oh my gosh. It's such an interesting thing that Oda's doing, and I really do hope that we get to explore all of Elbaf, especially with how creepy. I mean, are you caught up with the manga?
I am like 2 chapters behind, but I'm pretty much, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There was like it wasn't like a riddle, but it was like a message left behind in like the newest chapter. I don't know if they're gonna find that, but it was written by, I can't remember his name, but he's an adventurer. And he warns you not to stay in Elbaf for too long. And we don't know why yet. And it's like, why not? What's going to happen? And some of the theories are really, really cool. Like some people are saying that a day. Yeah, that. I didn't think about that one. That one would actually be kind of cool. But the main theory, and one that I'm really loving, is that like one day is like maybe like a week or like a month in real time. So like the giants live for like hundreds of years, right? But
Oh,
that's because
okay.
their like time on their world or island is like completely different to like normal humans. So I don't know. It's
That would be interesting. I could see that low key being something that happens because I've seen that happen in a few other type of mangas where like the island itself has a different time going around it. That'd be interesting.
yeah, it would be so interesting because imagine, dude, imagine like the Straw Hats are like, yeah, this is a great week we spent in Elbaf, right? And they leave and then they meet somebody and something like horrible has happened to them. Like, what's wrong, man? We were gone like a week. And you're like, dude, it's been like 6 months since you guys disappeared or something, you know?
Yeah,
Like something like that would be crazy. And it would honestly give Oda like room to fast forward the story in like other places and maybe
true,
like
true.
make the final war happen sooner than it might have happened in normal time. So I don't know, man. It's so many possibilities. So exciting.
Yeah, I'm really just trying to figure out what's gonna be like the main reason why they there. Like, is there gonna be some person they're gonna have to help? They're gonna have to uproot because they're being a dictator or something? Are they gonna have to help the people of Elbath? Like, are they gonna meet Shanks? Because Shanks is a big thing, has a big part of Elbath and his title too. So it's like, oh man, I want to see what's about to happen.
I know, and I'm so excited. I have no clue what's gonna happen. Clearly, Loki is being set up to be some sort of either ally or big boss of Elbaf or something. So I'm really looking forward to what they're doing there, especially because they've already set him up with
Hmm.
him wanting to marry. I think it was either Lola or Lola's sister. If you remember Lola, the the pink haired woman that we
That's one of
met
Big Mama
on
kids,
Thriller
right?
Bark. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She has a twin, and that
Oh
twin
yes,
married Capone Gang Beiji, and
she was supposed to
uh
marry Loki.
Loki proposed to her and she said no.
Oh, I didn't. I did not know that. Oh, I probably seen
Yeah.
it, but didn't remember that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was it. That's a very like key detail. That's a very key detail as to why Whole Cake Island or a little side story in Whole Cake Island where they show up, Capone Gangbang and his pirates show up to do it again, but of course, uh it was Lola that ran away, but because she looks like her twin sister, Big Mom takes out all her anger on the twin sister, and that
Dang.
that was an interesting like little plot line, which sort of made sense why the pirates weren't able to get away as smoothly as they wanted on Whole Cake.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Lola that turned down Loki and stopped Big Mom from having the relationship with the giants that she wanted that would have made her family/pirate crew the strongest like in the world.
Oh yeah, because she would have had that connection to the Giants thing.
Yeah, and those giants, man, they're strong. They're ripping like giant sea creatures in half. It's oh man. Like imagine
True.
imagine if Big Mom, she's massive, but imagine if she had kids that were more massive than her, you know?
Yeah, but when they went back in her backstory, she was like beating the Giants up. So I don't know, low key. Like, I know it would have helped her family out though, because I mean you would have like some stronger people beneath you type thing. But it's like, dang, a lot of these pirate emperors, it looked like they were just trying to find a lot of these like powerful races. Because I mean, even Kaido had the I guess the race that could like combust on fire, and there was only like a few of them left.
Yeah,
So it's
the
like,
Lunarians.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are interesting. I wonder if they're ever gonna pop up again, because I mean they seem to be set up as like this powerful, like darker skinned race, which we haven't seen like a race in One Piece that is specifically like darker skinned, like ever. And
True.
so, and the world government wanted to wipe them out for whatever reason or experiment on them. So I feel like that's something that he's going to touch back on, the Lunarians. And I'm really interested to see, like, there's been some really cool fan art of like what if the Lunarians were still around and stuff. So I hope Oda like delves more into like Albert, aka King, and what the Lunarians went through and why he was being experimented on in a science facility when Kaido found him and stuff.
Shit. Yeah, they definitely need to go into that because I mean, that's. I really wish Luffy had that mindset of trying to gather more people like that, like when they're like extinct races that have these special abilities. Because it'd be like, wow, where are these people at? Look, because like he didn't need the devil fruit in my opinion, because he was already like powerful. The devil fruit on top of that ability just made him like, oh damn, can they even be beaten low key? But that he it's hard to say can they be beaten when they got to go against Zoro, because I mean the man is a legend within himself.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, Zoro, I Zoro's interesting because I mean, did he die in Wano or like what happened there? Um, did Oda said that he got lost in hell and just went back to his body? Like was that true? We don't know, man. He seems to keep taking on this demon slash devil slash king of hell persona, and I wonder how far they're gonna go with it.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, when they allowed him to be the first person to really be able to hurt Kaido out of like all the captains and everything, I was like, yeah, they trying to put some respect on his name.
I'm glad, dude. I mean, Luffy needs that strong number two. There's no way you can be the Pirate King without someone. Like
True.
there was Roger. Roger had Rayleigh, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Rayleigh's unbeatable." If you thought Rayleigh was unbeatable, what about Roger, bro?
True, true. I see what you mean.
Yeah,
And
it's
they
not.
and the Rogers didn't even have any devil fruit that we know of. So
No, he.
that's
I.
why I do like they bringing in hockey, because I feel like that literally leveled the playing field. Because now you got people who you don't even think about could be strong, and they're probably literally the strongest people in the verse. Because I feel like a lot of people didn't realize how strong hockey could make you until you seen Garp literally almost take a whole island down with just a punch. So you're like, hold up, okay, maybe I need to put more of my resources into learning this stuff, because that was a whole another thing right there.
I'm really glad that hockey was introduced. Some people might say that there's loop or plot holes and stuff like that, but honestly, yeah, like you said, it just opens up the room for characters who maybe Oda just like creatively he can't think of another devil fruit to match or like make a fight like interesting without it just being like another power that we've already seen but slightly different.
Hmm.
And so like I'm glad that hockey exists because it shows that people who work hard in this world like do get rewarded for it. Because I mean, the Pirate King, for all we know, never had a devil fruit. That dude was all strength,
Yeah.
all raw hockey, and he even went up against like people like Whitebeard and Golden Shiki and the clearly he went up against the Rocks pirates and the world government, and yeah, I mean he still beat them all. He
Yeah.
still beat them all, or at least went toe to toe with everybody. And so, I mean, I'm really interested to see like what other applications of hockey can be introduced in this. Like, we're starting to get to the point where like they're going super into the specializations of hockey, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's Katakuri. He can see. Observation hockey was already about seeing into the future. Now he can actually see into the future.
Hmm.
Uh,
You got
Shanks.
Rio.
Yeah, you got Rio, where it's armament, but instead of just hitting you with like an iron fist, now you've got an iron fist that hits you inside too.
Yeah, so it's
Uh,
like bypasses durability. I'm like, damn, okay.
yeah, yeah, and if you remember Shanks, his observation hockey or something. I can't remember if it was his observation or conquerors, but he can just like shut down people's ability to use observation hockey, which like is like okay, That
Oh, damn.
I guess I guess we're not gonna get. We got told that in the movie in One Piece film Red,
Yep.
uh, and we didn't really see it happen. They didn't really show that. They just kind of told us that. Um, but we're already seeing like super hyper specializations of hockey, and so I'm really interested to see like what could be next because we already have hockey where you don't need to touch anybody to hit them. We've got hockey where you're seeing into the future like 3 seconds. It's I don't know, man. I don't even know what else he could pull out of his butt.
Man, I mean, I feel like depending on the arc, when you've had to figure out what they need to do, it's like, okay, now we're gonna have to make a different version of hockey because we need a version. Because in my mindset, it's like, okay, a devil fruit person can beat this person, but also somebody with hockey can beat this person. So it's like we got to figure out a way that hockey can beat them. Because to me, it's like when he went to go fight Kaido, they was like, how can we beat Kaido and how can we make hockey stronger? So let's make one that can bypass durability, which to me is like that would be just the one or two, three moves that I would need. Like because you would basically be able to hurt anybody just with that. So man. But
Yeah, I
before
mean, yeah,
we
you're right. Oh no, you're good. You're good. I was just saying you're right.
before we dive more into that, I just kind of wanted to give my side characters that were my favorite before we jump into the interview.
Oh
My
yeah.
two I chose were Krillin from
Oh,
Dragon Ball. I just felt like Krillin was a nice pick. He's always been there. He was a rival for Goku, was one of his first best friend. I think his fight with Piccolo in the World Tournament is so underrated. I think people never give props to the fact that he literally almost beat Piccolo in that fight. And there's also
mm.
been a lot of other fights that he's been had that were great and amazing. I like the fact that he was one of the weaker people in the Frieza arc, but was still able to cut his tail off, literally switching the whole situation of the fight, making everybody be like, "Hey, we might actually be able to can do something," you know. For my next one, I chose Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. This is
Mm.
probably one of my favorite side characters, only because I like his moments where he just go off when he falls asleep, and he's just a true badass. Because I just feel like the difference between it is just like night and day. It's like you got this person who's scared of a flower, but then as soon as he's like asleep, he can probably kill some of the top people in the verse. And then the moment, I don't know if you keep up with Demon Slayer, but right now we're to the point where he has a character change, and that part of him that used to be afraid of everything is kind of just gone now. He's like literally about to just be badass from the beginning of this is it the Muzan? I don't even remember.
The Infinity Castle.
The Infinity Castle to the end of the Infinity Castle arc, because he's about to be a whole new character, man. I can't wait to see it animated. I've read the manga and it's amazing.
Yeah, dude. Hey, great picks. I'm really excited to see the end of Infinity Castle because I mean, it's really impressive that one anime can stay as consistent animation wise as Demon Slayer has.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if they can keep that consistency to the very end, in my opinion, the story it's fun. It's like super deep or anything, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, and if they can like stick the landing with the animation and the moments and everything, then I think it's going to be a lot of people's like top five for a while.
Yeah, for sure. I think, especially if they're going with the whole, they're gonna just make Infinity Castle like 2 or 3 movies and end it off like that. I think that would be great because I mean, with the type of animation that they do have and the ability that they can make movies, because I hate the movies that they have put out after the train movie they did, because it's just been literally 2 episodes of the next season or 2 episodes of the previous season with one new It's like I hate those. We just need to go ahead and do these movies and just let it be that. Like I think that's the way we should go.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly want to do the movies to get that higher budget. I'm really interested to see if they're really going to wrap up the whole. I think they said they would, didn't they? That they were going to
Yeah,
wrap up the whole show in like 2 movies.
I think they said that. I think that's what they wanted. I know Haikyuu said they want to do the same thing. So this is interesting. That a lot of shows are starting to go this route. That they're like, no, we want to do a movie.
I understand why. Like I get it, but it's kind of disappointing that it has to be a film to get a higher budget and like more time to like be polished and everything. Because
Hmm.
when you have a film, it's I personally really love the series format of TV shows because I don't know, I don't have time to sit down and watch an hour 30-minute piece of content like
True.
every time I want to like continue a part of a show that I really enjoyed. So I understand. It happened with the Blue Lock episode Nagi movie too. And
Yeah.
the Haikyuu Battle of the Dumpster movie. They cut a lot of content to make the movie format work. And I understand why they cut the content because then the movie would be like 3 hours long and no one would go watch it except, people who would want 3 hours of content, like me. But
Yeah,
at the
I would
same
watch.
yeah, everybody would watch it. But the thing is, they don't have the budget, even on a higher budget like a film. They still don't have like the resources in order to, I guess, make their films and slash, I guess, longer TV series or series. I think series is the plural of series. Um, like have all the content that the manga had and be fully manga faithful, and like say what you want about One Piece, but it's not skipping over anything.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so long as a series. It does have filler. It does draw things out a little bit too much in some arcs like Dressrosa and Wano, but at the same time, you're not missing any of the content from the manga, except maybe the volume covers, which they could adapt into filler if they really wanted to, like they did like all the way back in season one. But I don't know. It's just it's a little disappointing to see them all go the film route. I know it'll look great at least, or you'd hope it looked good, but I just don't like it when content is cut for time. I don't like it.
Yeah, because I noticed that with the Haikyuu movie, because I was like, "Damn, this is literally just a match. It's none of the in between. Because usually, if you watch the series, there's always like a little bit of a training before they get to the match. You get a little bit of maybe you might get like a little camp or something. So to go it to literally just be the match to me was kind of surprising. But I'm glad they did kind of give you the next movie a little bit at the end, give you a little preview of what it most likely gonna be about. The Kurosano versus I can never think of the other school. The other school with the other guy that's supposed to be the tiny giant.
I can't. I don't follow Haikyuu as much as I did. I used to watch it. I watched it a lot more in high school because I was playing volleyball. But now I have not been keeping up with it. I feel so bad. All my friends are like, "We should go watch the Haikyuu movie," and I was like, I can't. I don't know what's going on." And so
Oh, okay.
all I heard was that they cut a lot of content for time, and I was like, "Damn, really?" But
Yeah.
like that, I don't even have to watch the movie to like know that that's a trend in recent films now, and it even happened in Arcane, which is a show I really enjoyed. They cut a lot of stuff for time, and even the ending was a bit rushed. So I I wish I wish producers would give their content the time it deserves to be as good as it can be, as opposed to worrying about how much money they're gonna lose and all that crap.
For sure, for sure. Because I feel like if you take the time to create something like this, like a lot of manga artists do, is that you want to see a lot of these moments that you've written down and crafted these stories for to be on the big screen. I can see that a lot happening with Bleach, with Taito Kuba literally coming in and was like, a lot of that stuff that I did put in there, I was rushing. Let me go ahead and give y'all the story that I really want to give y'all and push this out, give this more depth. And I like that. I feel like the Thousand Year Blood War arc has been amazing because of that.
I I mean that's exactly what happens when you give people the time to flesh out the stories that they want to tell instead of, like even the manga format, like weekly, that's crazy. Now some of
Yes.
these people are insane at pumping like 30 pages per week. Per week?
That's
Bro. Like,
And a lot of them end up getting sick because I think in the beginning it probably don't sound like that much. You're like, I was doing that earlier in my life, and then once it started to become like every week, it just they start to break down. Because I mean, Hunter X Hunter, I think the guy is just got back in the hospital, and he literally only put out two chapters.
yeah, I mean, did you see what happened to him? That guy, he didn't take care of his back so much he couldn't wipe his own butt.
Oh,
He
I didn't
had to
know.
get in the shower to clean his butt after he would take a poop every time, dude. That's how bad they're treating themselves to meet their deadlines. And I mean, if you've seen Oda's sleep schedule, that dude sleeps like 4 hours a night. 4 hours. And he sees his family like every Saturday.
Well, I'm glad he is starting to give himself more breaks because it seemed like with him and like a few other artists, when Toriyama died, that was like a wake up call for a few of them to like, you know what? Every once in a while, I do need to go ahead and take a break because I heard he's taking a break now, but I think he's still also working because he's helping out with the Netflix movie Netflix show.
Oh yeah, I mean Oda's always
I always
working.
wonder how much he's worth, low key. Like, because you would think he has to be worth like hundreds of millions.
Oh,
I would think.
absolutely. I mean, he donated several 100 million yen, which I mean, yen is not as much as the dollar at all, but like that's still I think over $1 million of money that he donated to the when the big tsunami hit Japan. He
Okay.
donated a lot of his own money, like millions of yen of his own money to repair Japan. And as a response, they built like statues of the Straw Hats in his honor because he literally helped fix their towns. Like that dude is worth a lot. And I mean, his work ethic shows for it.
But all right, let's go ahead and jump into our interview.
Yeah.
But my first question I want to ask you, when did you know you wanted to be an actor? And when did you start focusing on voice acting?
So it's funny, man. I kind of just I fell into acting. I'd done it before. Uh I really started it back in high school. I got cut from the basketball team a second time, and basketball was what I really, really wanted to do, which is hilarious because I'm like a 5'9" Hispanic kid. You don't see any Hispanic kids in the NBA. So it was a very lofty goal, but I really did think, when you're that young, you really still have those aspirations. But I got cut. I was crying. I was like, oh, wait. I got cut from the team again. And so for like 2 weeks, because I quit football to focus on practicing for the tryouts too. And so I didn't have football either. So now I just had nothing going on. And my buddy was walking to the newest theater audition. And I was like, yo, can I come with you? And he's like, sure. We got a new director this year. Why don't you come try it out? And I was like, okay. So I went and on a whim, I went and tried out for the play. I believe it was The Outsiders, our
Hmm.
play of the out. If you remember that from your required reading, that was
Uh,
one of the books I was
Pony
required to
Boy
read.
Curtis is.
Yeah, yeah, that was one of our required reading books. So when I saw the play, I was like, oh, I actually know the content, and I booked a Soch. I believe his name was Paul. I was like the third most important antagonist, which means I didn't do a lot, but I was a named role, which really surprised me. And I was like, wow. And I really reawakened because I remember I did a musical. I did High School Musical Junior in middle school, and
Okay.
I was Chad. And so I guess it reawakened like, oh, I've really liked acting. I really liked acting in that play or musical, so why not try acting in plays and see what happens? And I stuck it out. I tried to play volleyball for a little bit, at the same time, But it was just one of those things where it was just either one or the other because practices happen at the same time as the rehearsals. And so I was like, damn. So I quit volleyball because I was doing a lot better with acting. I wasn't that good at volleyball, but I still like playing it. Um, but and eventually, I graduated, and as I was going to college, I was like, man, I don't really want to stop acting. There's no reason for me to stop acting. So what I did was I literally just looked up acting jobs near me, and I found one listing on Craigslist. And yeah, Craigslist. Isn't that funny? You would
That
never
is
hope to
interesting.
find. I don't recommend finding your jobs off Craigslist, but that's how I found. That's how I found my first gig, and it's hilarious because I
That could have
sent
literally been a
him.
movie.
Yeah, yeah. Depending on what happened. Um, but I sent off my material to the guy, and he got back to me. He was like, "Hey, I'd love for you to read for this character." But then he showed me where I would have to read it, and it was just his house. And I was like, I'm good. And so,
I feel that.
and so for months, I kind of just ignored that email. And then I think it was November. November rolled around, and it was either November or October. And he's like, "Hey man, my lead actor dropped out. Do you think you could just like come and do the role?" Like he didn't even ask me to audition. He gave me the role. He hadn't even seen me act. I didn't even send him like a video of me acting. I just told him I know how to act. And I was like, how much am I making? He's like $200. I was like, hell yeah, $200. That sounds great. And I went, and it was a very interesting filming process. I'll tell you that because I wanted to get started on camera actually, and
Okay.
so that's how I did. That's how I got my start. I did a bunch of films and short films, some pro bono, some student projects. The student projects were a lot of fun. I did a lot of projects for SMU, which is actually where I met my girlfriend that am still with to this day. We've been together almost 3 years now. Um, but doing all those on camera
Congratulations.
stuff. Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. It's been a lot of fun. She's awesome. Um, but I kept going and going, and I made enough money, and it was actually barely like a year in to trying like acting like professionally for like gigs. And I was like, why don't I try voiceover? Why not? I love voiceover. I loved all the Saturday morning cartoons and TV shows I would watch on Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Nicktoons and Disney Channel and Disney XD, And so I was like, why not give it a try? And so I bought a crappy little $50 microphone and quickly realized it was shit. And so I then bought a better microphone after looking up what sounds better. And it was an XLR microphone. So I finally did something right there. And I just started auditioning. And the more I auditioned, the more I learned what I could change, how I could change my setup, what space I was in, what soundproofing was. Uh, and so I just kept going and learning and learning and learning. Eventually started taking classes on voiceover specifically that helped me improve my acting ability as well. And I just kept going on going until I am where I'm at today. Literally just keeping on doing those things, taking classes, learning, buying new equipment, learning, meeting new people, making connections, and now I'm here doing the dream.
Oh, okay, okay. That sounds like an excellent story, basically jumping into acting. So you started off with wanted to be on the basketball team that didn't work out for you, so you jumped right into acting. I see that.
I mean, if you can't do one, there's always like the being a jock or being a creative, but when you can't be a jock anymore, it's
Kind of.
creativity's right there.
I see, I see. It's either what, sports or entertainment.
Yeah, I chose the entertainment route.
But my next question I want to ask you, what do you find most challenging about being a voice actor and also most rewarding?
Ooh, that's a good question. Most challenging, I would say, are if you're talking about like physically challenging, definitely maintaining your voice. Your voice is your most important aspect of you in terms of voiceover, because that's literally all that matters. No one cares what you look like. No one cares how buff you are. No one cares how skinny you are. No one cares what you ate, what, you know, I mean, they do care a little what you smell like. You shouldn't show up smelly. But like, they don't care about any physical features whatsoever. It's all about your voice. And so if you don't maintain your voice, you're not giving it the proper vocal rest it needs, like any laryngologist. I think that's the term for someone who his main focus is the larynx, which is where your vocal cords rest. Like any vocal doctor is how I'm going to say it. Any vocal doctor will tell you that vocal rest is so important. You know, even just like drinking tea, like warm fluids that don't like close up your throat. Fun fact, very cold liquids are actually bad for you, including ice. Ice is not good for your throat either, because cold drinks actually close up your throat a little bit, while hot drinks expand your throat, which allows you to do more vocally strenuous things without hurting yourself.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you ever feel like your throat's really sore, like maybe you talk too much, like I can already feel like I've been yapping my head off. I'm going to go make some throat coat or throat comfort tea, that stuff, and honey. You always throw honey in there. Honey is a natural healer for your throat as well. Fun fact. But just keeping your throat at its 100%, it's a lot more hard than you think it is. There's plenty of times where I'll get called in to a session and I know what character I'm playing. And so I'm like, okay, I want my voice to sound like this. But if I talk too much throughout the day, my voice won't stay at that level. And so I have to practically ignore people and tell them, "Hey, I can't talk right now." You know, like, or can I text you what's happening? Or, you know, like my whole day is surrounded by making sure my voice is where it's at so I can do the voice I want to do for this project, you know? It's a lot harder than you think it is. It's rough, man. I
Well, at least you're able to know that though. Like, oh man, if I talk about 5 more minutes, I won't be able to do that. Because me personally, I wouldn't be able to be like, okay, if I keep talking a little bit, it's gonna mess up my voice for later on. I probably wouldn't be able to think like that.
Yeah, it's exactly what I do. I go to work and I ignore all my coworkers. I'll say like, "Hey, good morning," and then I'll just like leave, and I won't. I'll be like silent. I'm turn into an introvert all of a sudden, and they know I'm not an introvert, so they're like, "Oh, he's being weird today." I'm like, "No, I want it to be good for the thing I'm doing later, but I can't tell you that because if I tell you that, my voice is gonna lose its quality." That's one of the most
That's
challenging
funny.
things physically, but one of the most rewarding things about voiceover is it's really funny when people say they don't like to hear their own voice. I don't
I'm
want it
in
to
that.
sound, yeah. You don't like your own voice?
It's not that I don't like my own voice. I just hate listening. I feel like if you edit a lot, you will start to hate your own voice. And it's only because you hear it so much. And it's like, oh man, oh man. And then you start noticing your mistakes and everything like that. I feel like you just get more critical than what you need to be.
I mean, guess what, man? You're a voice actor. That's exactly what it's like for us, editing our freaking auditions every day,
Mhm.
listening to ourselves talk. I mean, you're right in the same boat. You've got a very entertaining voice, dude. I love listening to you and hearing your questions. I don't know, you just got a natural friendly cadence to you that makes people want to stick around. So, I mean,
Oh, thanks,
have a
man.
little more confidence in your voice, dude. Um, but one of the most rewarding things is I was saying, I don't want to sound narcissistic, but I love hearing my voice come out of characters. Um,
Okay, okay.
some people don't like that. They're like, I'm never gonna rewatch this show. I'm not gonna watch it. I can't, you know. But I love it. I love watching my voice come out of characters because it just feels so rewarding. It's like, wow, I did that. Yeah,
I can
it,
feel
it
that.
it's a very funny feeling that I never had before. Well, I guess I'd experienced it, like seeing your team win, like a sports game, whenever you were playing competitively. Like you win a game, you're like, wow, we did that, team. It's sort of the same feeling with voiceover. It's like a sense of pride over the fact that you managed to complete another project and you're proud of how it came out. I mean, if you like how it came out, I've had a couple episodes come out and I'm like, I don't know how good I did. But more often than not, I will be really happy seeing my voice come out of a character that I earned.
For sure. I feel like if I drop some like cool quotes or something, yeah, that probably would love to keep going back to him. Like, man, I probably won't ever have a reason to say none of these quotes again. But that was amazing. Uh, yeah, I could feel that. That's pretty cool. And coming to my next question, one of the main reasons I brought you on here was basically to talk about your experience working on the latest My Hero Academia movie, Your Next. How
Yeah.
did that opportunity come about? And do you have any favorite moments or quotes from the project? And is this one of those projects you like to hear your voice in?
Oh man, let me tell you, I got the email for it and it caught me completely off guard because I was not expecting it like at all. I I basically got it because I auditioned for one thing and the director heard it and he was like, "Hey, he'd be great for this guy." And so he brought me up and I was like, "Oh crap." Cuz I got the email and I never got emails from producers. I got an email from one of the Crunchyroll producers and the guy was like, "Hey, can we talk like over the
Ooh,
phone?"
okay.
And I was like,
You
"Over the
don't know what
phone?"
that could be.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, they're like, "Can we talk? We want to talk about an opportunity with you." And I was like,
Oh,
"Okay, so this is like two things. This could be the guy I saw on the poster for the My Hero Academia movie, or I think it was another bigger role that was coming out at the time." And I guess right the first time it was Giulio that they wanted me for, and I was like, "Oh my god, holy crap!" And I was really nervous because I had already made plans to go pick up a car from Amarillo, Texas, because I my car got totaled like the week before. I didn't have a car,
oh,
and
dang.
so my girlfriend's dad managed to hook me up with a Toyota, very cool car. I love it, but I had to go pick it up and essentially drive back. I didn't even get to stay like 2 days in Amarillo. I flew in, picked up the car, stayed the night, woke up at 5 a.m. to leave Amarillo, Texas. And with stops, I made it just barely 30 minutes before my first session for not even Giulio. I think it was my I had to go in for two sessions beforehand. I had to go in for a Walla session, my first session for my character Seokjin and True Beauty, and then Giulio. And I was like, "Oh my god." And so I had an idea of what I wanted his voice to be, but because of my voice and how tired it was just from talking, because you can't not talk on like a 5 hour car ride.
True, true.
I wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, but the more I did it, I was like, okay, wait, this is actually kind of working for the character and who he is. He sounded a little breathier. He sounded a little more angsty. And I was like, okay, yeah. I'm actually really digging the voice I chose here. It sounds supernatural.
True, true.
And yeah, that was 3 days straight. We recorded for that 3 days in a row, and it was over. And I was like, wow,
Wow, okay.
yeah, it was
And he's
nine
a big
hours.
part of the movie.
Yeah, I never recorded 9 hours for a character before. Um, so it was really, really surprising. And it was over, and I didn't know when the announcement was going to come out because I could not talk about it. I was under NDA at the time, and I was just basically stuck in limbo of like, oh my God, I really want to talk to people about this so bad, but I can't talk about it, and I'm going insane not talking about it. Um, but finally, in like I think it was September, just like a month before the movie was supposed to come out, they finally announced I was the lead, I was the voice of Giulio alongside damn Chris Sabat and Kaylee Mills, who are such talented actors. And I was like, what the hell am I doing here? What am I doing between Vegeta himself and uh, an actress who has so many high profile roles in anime and video games in LA, and I felt like a
Like that. I
what
just
is
started last year.
yeah like I got barely put on the map last year. This is crazy. And so
Blessings,
uh
man.
it-
Blessings.
yeah, I felt truly blessed in that moment. So many people followed and shared their supports, and they're proud of me. And I was like, man, this is crazy. I've never felt like this level
And
of
this
I
was you
guess
went to a premiere and everything for this movie, right?
yeah, Toho, they flew me out. Same company that does Godzilla, they reached out to my agent, and they were like, "Hey man, we want to fly your guy out." And so they put me up in a hotel, flew me out, gave me
Oh,
tickets to the Egyptian theater, the second oldest theater in Hollywood. Um and yeah, I got to meet Daisuke. I think it was Daisuke. He was the voice of I can't remember. Okay, well, I'm not gonna say their names because I can't remember their names. But the voice of Deku in Japanese and the voice of All
okay.
Might in Japanese were there, which is really cool to meet them. And the voice of Deku didn't know who we were. He might have known who Cliff Chapin was, but he didn't know exactly who we were. And but
What are
he
y'all
we
bringing
had
them over here for?
yeah, but we had little plushies of our characters. And so he went one by one. He would go, Anna, Giulio, da-na-na, da-na-na, and then he would go, Kachan at the end. And Cliff went, Deku! And that was really fun. That was really cute. And he went, whoa! Which is, it was such a cool moment. And I saw Cliff tweet about it after. I was like, oh, I guess they've never met before. Because I knew he had met the Justin Briner, the English voice of Deku.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but the movie was awesome, and I watched it, but we watched it in the sub because the Japanese voice actors flew out for it, so they're not gonna make him watch the dub.
I
And
feel it. I
I was
feel
like, okay, well now I know what the whole sub movie is. Now I've
it.
gotta wait another like 2 weeks for the dub to come out. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and I finally watched it. And I was like, oh my God. It's so weird. It was so awesome and weird getting to see my voice like be a leading man on the big screen. That was so crazy. And people were like congratulating me after it, saying I did so well, and I was like, oh, man, what the hell? It was such a funny level of I get not really fame. I wouldn't consider myself that famous, but I would like
You
I don't know.
still
It
get
was
your flowers when you do something. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had never gotten so many flowers at once. So I was just like, wow, this is a lot.
That just shows you how
But
popular my hero is. You know what I mean?
yeah, dude, I knew I was a big fan, dude. I was there in the beginning with the fandom, and so getting to join the fandom like right near the end of its lifespan is was just absolutely wild. And I'm really, really thankful that I got to experience it. And I'm really thankful that, you know, some fans are excited and want to see me at conventions too. So hopefully I can start to make that happen. I've already got one planned for over in Port Huron, Michigan at OzokuCon, if any Michiganites are out there.
You
So
said in Michigan, that's close to me. I might try to see if I can make a stop.
hey, yeah, Port Huron, man. I think next to Huron Lake. I think that's the name of one of the Great Lakes. I wasn't good at geography, but
Me
uh,
neither.
I know there's 5 of them, and I know one's named Erie. Um, but yeah, dude, my hero experience absolutely crazy. Couldn't be more thankful for it. Honestly, crazy that it's not even in theaters anymore. I'm just waiting for it to come online because I really want to start sharing clips and like my favorite moments from the movie too.
For sure, for sure. It's been taking a while. I've been noticing for like stuff that went to the theaters to come on to like streaming services. It took the Haikyuu movie a while. It's taken the Dragon Ball Daima episode, English dub episodes a while. So I'm like, I don't know what it is. It seemed like it should be easy to just put it over there, but I don't know. I don't know the logistics and stuff like that.
Me neither, man. I've asked so many producers, like, "Hey, you know when this is coming out?" And they'll be like, "No." And I'll be like, "All right, I guess
When I
it'll
know
come out."
something, you'll know something.
That's basically that's what my director told me. When I was like, "Okay, so when do you think I can talk about it?" He's like, "I don't know. I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you if I wanted to." Well, that's not true. He probably could have told me if he wanted to, but he just didn't know. And I was like, "Well, all right. I guess I'll see it when I see it." And then the only reason I saw it was because some guy DM'd me on Discord and he was like, "Oh, congrats to the My Hero movie, dude." I was like, "Oh, they already announced it? Oh shit." They did
You're
not
like, how'd you
tell
figure that
me.
out? Oh,
How'd you know? I didn't break NDA. Yeah,
oh
that's
man.
exactly what happened.
Well, my next question I want to ask you, as a fan of Pokemon and Power Rangers, how did these shows influence your decision to pursue a career in voice acting? And do you ever draw from these childhood loves when you're taking on a new role?
Oh man. I haven't had the ability to like go full tokusatsu yet, but I no wait, that's not true. I did it for one project that I still can't talk about, but I did because I don't know if they cut the content or not. I hope it comes out at some point because I do want to talk about it. But at one point I go, I remember I heard the voice reference for the character, and he goes Henshin, and I had to go transform, and I was like, yes. Oh, it made my heart really happy because I loved the Power Rangers growing up, man. So
Hmm.
that was I did get to draw on the Power Rangers that one time. Pokemon, not yet, not yet. At some point, I would love to draw on Pokemon for freaking Pokemon. I'd love to be in Pokemon.
They just brought the series back
I know. I
without
want to be in
Ash, though.
that. I want to. Yeah. Rip Ash. He had a great career. Great career. Retired a world champion. Can't really complain about that.
I mean, it took him
Oh,
35 years, so it's like, I'm
I
glad he
mean,
did it, but it was like, man, that was one of the longest dreams and goals to be pursued ever, man.
look, he's got 35 years of experience at 11. So
Man,
bro's exactly what an employer is looking for. He can retire and he can be like a teacher somewhere instead of running all over the world like he always wants to.
man. I wonder if as soon as they got rid of him, if he finally turned 12 or something. That's funny.
Oh man, but the second if I can join Pokemon, you'll hear me shout from the rooftops, bro. That's a dream. That's a dream job for me is Pokemon.
Yeah,
Oh my
Pokemon would
goodness.
be nice. But see, my thing is, I would want to be in like the stuff that's already been out. Like the first Pokemon movie, that to me is because I consider that one of the best anime movies out there. Just the whole setup of that movie, for it to low key be a whole disguise as a Malcolm X, Martin Luther King storyline, low key, if you really pay attention to what's they're actually talking about in the
Yeah.
thing, which is to me it's just crazy to watch that as a kid and then watch it back later and be like, wow, I did not realize that this is what they're trying to show us. And that people were treating these Pokemons like crap. Like, man,
I mean, the first Pokemon movie, looking back on it, And I remember when I was a kid watching it, I was like, "Oh my God, why are they fighting? It's so scary," you know.
Yeah.
But you watch it back as an adult, and you're like, "Oh my God, this is way deep for what's supposed to be a kids movie. What's going on? What's Pokemon putting in the water of their of their creatives?"
Man, and then I just think that's the first time you ever see like Ash die, so it's kind of like, damn, all this
Ash
just
did
in this.
die. Damn, that's true. I remember he got turned to stone, man, and then everyone was like, "Why? No, Ash, please come back."
Yeah,
I,
got Pikachu reacting like the world's about to crumble. He's
yeah,
like, man, I just say I always love Pokemon. The first few movies are pretty good. I always try to go back and rewatch a lot of them because I just like Pokemon. That was one of my first favorite TV shows as a kid. I didn't realize it was anime until like later on and stuff, but it to me it was always a great show. I always liked it more than like your Yu-Gi-Ohs and Digimons and stuff like that. But those shows are good too.
yeah. I didn't really get into Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon as much as I got into Pokemon. I really like Bakugan. I remember when Bakugan was a
Okay,
thing. But that then died out a little bit. Beyblade was also big. I remember I loved Beyblade. I loved getting to play that with my little brother. Um, yeah, I mean, Beyblade still has some series coming out every now and then,
true, true.
so does Yu-Gi-Oh. Listen, I would love to be a part of any of those like iconic franchises, man, because I did grow up with them. I wasn't like the super like hardcore fan of all of them, but like I know what they are, and getting
Yeah.
to be in any of them in any way, I'll just be like, man, that's so cool. That's sick.
True. I would love to have a dual fight with Yugi. I think that would be pretty cool.
Maybe someday, man. Maybe we'll both do it.
Oh, that'd be lit. For my next question, I want to ask you is you played the lead in one of my favorite isekais, chilling in another world with a level 2 super cheat powers. Do
Yeah.
you feel any connection to the character you portrayed? And how do you think this project helped you grow as an actor?
So that was my first lead role ever. So I would say that really helped me grow as an actor, as a voice actor specifically as well. Um, I really connected with Leo or Banaza, whatever you want to call him. He was Banaza for like like 20 minutes of the first episode, and then
His
he
real
completely
name.
yeah, and then he completely changed his name, so now he's just Fleo. Um, and I put a lot of myself into him. I put a lot of my relationship with my girlfriend into his relationship with Fenris.
Hmm.
That's why a lot of the emotion I put into the more romantic moments, the more soft and wholesome moments. I feel like I draw on a lot of those emotions that I feel whenever I'm with my girlfriend, and so those moments were always very personal to me. But also just his character in general. As the name implies, he's a very chill dude. And especially as of recently, I've been called an especially chill dude um, by everybody I know. It's very confusing. I mean, the chill guy meme has been going around. And so I guess people just kind of honed in on me and they said that I'm a chill guy. And I was like, I guess. I mean, whatever you want to say.
Long as the
But
definition of chill hasn't changed, so
yeah, so I mean, I guess you're right. Um, but he really is a lot like me. Like nothing a lot really phases him. I mean, of course he does get like those more emotional moments and he can get really angry if he has to, but really nothing much will like, phase him in terms of like making him scared or anything or
hmm.
like make him super annoyed. Like he's a little more a shy or a flustered whenever like Fenris is pushy on him like trying to like get romantic and stuff and he's like I'm a virgin or I don't know. I don't even know if he was a virgin, but the way he was acting, he was very innocent. That's the word. And I just felt really like I could put a lot of myself into him without sacrificing any bit of me, right?
True.
And that's kind of what you have to do for a lot of characters is put like your emotions and draw on your experiences that pertain to any particular moment that he's in and or your character, and just let it out and let it flow into the character, let it affect your performance. And I really, really loved getting to play Fleo because that really, especially with Jason Lord, my director for that show, he really directed me in ways that would push me further and work to my strengths. And if something didn't work, it would make me want to work on making that able to be done. And man, I went through a lot of baby steps trying to get my feet wet. Just yeah, I remember when I walked in, Jason was like, "Welcome to the big leagues now," and I was like, "Oh man," because it was like an 8-hour session for the first episode,
Ooh.
and or was it 8? I might have been 6, but 6 was still a lot in one day. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it work. And it was a lot of discovering like who Fleo is, why he's doing this, why everything. And one after that first episode, episodes 2 and 3, I was still sort of like, like baby deer feet trying to get past it. But I think after that, I really hit my stride with Fleo, and he performing as him really became second nature to him, second nature to me.
No, okay, because I was like, oh, he was playing you.
He was playing me, actually.
Well, my next question I want to ask you, what emotion do you find hard to portray?
Hard to portray. I mean, the more extreme ones are always going to be the hardest, right? Those are the ones that you have to draw maybe certain trauma. You have to draw on certain like traumatic events that happen in your life or events that really emotionally affected you. I mean, people who can just like snap and bam, you're bawling or you're furious, People who can do that, like that's really, really impressive. And sometimes it's hard to do that because you're on the clock. You only have a certain amount of time or else the studio's got to pay you more and they for sure don't want to do that. And so being able to draw on like real genuine emotion and well at the same time. It's not like a film set where you have like 12 hours in a day and you can spend like 15 minutes trying to get your actor into the zone. Here we can spend like maybe 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, this happened recently for a session that I did with my director, Emily Fajardo. She was trying to get me in a certain mindset that was a little more emotional. Because I was performing well, but she knew I could go further. And so she got me talking about a certain part of me, how it affected my life, how everything happened. And then she's like, can we redo the line with that energy? And I was like, okay, yeah. And I did it and it came out great. And according to her, I mean, she said she was tearing up. So, I mean, I hope people who watch whenever this comes out, I hope people who watch it
Did you feel a difference though when you went with her suggestion?
Oh yeah, I mean that's what a director's there for, man. They're there to help me get through a moment that maybe I'm not even seeing myself. Maybe I'm so wrapped up in thinking what I think is the good performance. They're gonna be like, no, 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 we're gonna do it this way, and then they're right. Usually, like 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be right about a suggestion. That's what they're there for. That's why they're getting paid the big bucks. And just drawing on those more intense, very raw emotions, like being furious or grief. Those are definitely the most difficult and challenging emotions that you have to portray as an actor, in my opinion. And I don't think those are ever going to really change. I'd be surprised. I mean, there are some people that like they can't laugh.
Yeah,
They can't
I've gotten that a few times.
they can't laugh naturally, so the director has to like coach them into laughing like a normal person. Cuz it's not, no one's ever had to like manually laugh now, and you're like, okay. And ha ha ha. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Some people can't laugh. I've heard that before. Some people have a really hard time yelling without sounding like, oh. And
Okay.
so there are different things, like yelling can be really hard for somebody, or crying can be really hard for somebody, or being mad can be really hard for somebody. It all varies depending on which actor you talk to, but in my opinion, because I can laugh and I can yell, the rawest emotions, anger and sadness, are sometimes the hardest to portray effectively and genuinely.
Okay. Okay. Moving down to my last three questions. For my next question, I want to ask: is there anyone out there that you want to shout out for being a good support system for you? And can you explain why having a good support system has helped you get to where you're at?
I mean, I'll shout out my girlfriend Lexi right now. Lexi Shamir. She
Shout
is
out.
doing she does the most for me, man. If I have a rough patch, she's there reminding me that, hey,
Is she also a voice actor or?
no, she's not a voice actor
Okay.
quite yet. I keep saying I
Oh,
keep saying
okay.
she could do it, but she doesn't believe me. But I made her record for Little Thing today, so hopefully that comes out, and then she can talk about it, because I think it's fun. But
Oh, that's dope.
she is a director for voiceover demo reels and the like, so she's getting a lot more notice and attention in the VO scene. So I'm really happy for her there. Um, yeah, I mean, if you want a demo reel from her, I can't recommend her enough, because her demo reels were the ones that got me into Crunchyroll with my agent, with multiple different casting studios. She's the real deal.
Okay.
So
So you're her guinea pig. So when she be telling people, she'd be like, "You see him? He was nothing last year.
yeah, yeah,
He
that's
was in the My
exactly what
Hero
it
movie."
is. Because of me. Because of me. That's what she does get that bragging right. I do tell her, like, you can tell people that your demos got me into places, because they did. I would not be in the position I am without her, and so I'm just eternally grateful for everything that she does for me. She's helped me with announcement posts. She's helped me with demos. She's helped me emotionally. Um, we go to the gym together. She helps me physically. And I hope I can do the same for her, you know? And so I mean, always the biggest shout out to her and my family. My family's always been super supportive, even all the way to my extended family. They'll reach out, they'll see me post, and they'll reach out to my mom. They're like, "Wow, he's doing that. Wow." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. I'm doing all this, man." They're so supportive. They're always commenting on all my posts, and sending me DMs with like 10 million emojis, because they're all boomers. And man, I love them all. I love them so much, and I've got such a good support group with my friends as well, who are a lot of them are now voice actors. So I didn't really have a lot of voice actors, but I didn't have a lot of voice actor friends, but as I got more and more into the scene, I found my own group, and those guys have been so awesome, always supportive on
Who's
posts.
in
And
your group?
I mean, shout out to, there's so many people. We got Corey Wilder, we got Hannah
Okay.
Majors, we got Maganda Marie, we got Lexa Childress, we got Vanessa Benoit, we've got Marissa Duran, we got uh Nick Margraf, we got Aaron Nicole Lundquist, we got Ryan Nigadon, I got Eric Sheffield, I got so many people, Devon Oliver, uh Dio Garner, uh, so many people
No,
just,
that's amazing. I think I've interviewed a few of them. Only like one of them I've been trying to get to, and that was Corey. But man, that's a pretty nice group right there you got.
yeah, and let me tell you, man, that's not even half of them. Like,
Mm.
I've made so many awesome friends just through voiceover, and voiceover has really changed my life for the better, I feel. And I can't thank those guys enough for always being around, always wanting to play games, always wanting to talk about voiceover stuff that's happening. And it's just really cool having a support system that's also in the industry that you're in.
For sure, for sure. For my next question, I want to ask you, what vocal performance, as of right now, do you consider your best?
Ooh, my best. I think definitely Giulio. I mean, the one that's out now. Like, maybe in the
Okay.
future this will change, But as of right now, Giulio is definitely the role I'm most proud of because it just shows a real range of emotions that I never really got to play with in a series. Even as a lead role, like I did get to do some of these emotions, but it maybe wasn't to the depth that I wanted to. And so, I mean, Giulio was just kind of a dream come true character in so many ways. And I'm really happy with my performance in it. And I mean, I went to go watch the movie like like 3 times. So I'm very sure that I liked my performance.
Yeah, I think I went to go see it twice, and the second time
Hey,
was actually I feel like the movie theater either gave me a free ticket or something, and I can't remember why, but that's why I got to see it again, and it was pretty good. I seen it at
yeah.
2 different theaters too, and I felt like I got 2 different experience. Because the first one I went to, they didn't have the it seemed like they didn't have the volume loud enough. So I was like, couldn't really hear what was going on. And then when I went to another theater, it was amazing. I was like, yeah, this is how it should have felt the whole time. It was pretty good.
Well, I'm glad you got a better viewing experience the second time around.
Do you have any advice for anybody out there that's trying to get into the industry? Do you have any recommendations on which websites they should look at, any educational paths or anything like that?
Well, my biggest advice that I usually tell people is to have a background in acting in general before you try voice acting. Trying to go straight into voice acting can work, but just having the base of being able to perform in general without a microphone is so important because let me tell you, learning how to act and then learning how to act with a microphone can be 2 completely different skill sets. Because if you're
Mm.
acting for theater, you get to be physical. You get to you're smacking, you're slapping your body to be funny. You're doing all these great things, and then you go and get in front of a microphone. You can't do any of that anymore. And it's because if you do that, like you're gonna hear that all in the mic, you know. And so you just gotta be you've got to be an actor first and a voice actor second.
True.
Uh, you take theater classes, go to a community college and take theater classes if you don't want to do the whole 4-year course thing, which I don't think anybody really has to if they want to be an actor. I mean, look at me. I didn't graduate with a theater degree. I graduated with a converged broadcast media degree. I know how to work in television production. I don't know, technically, I'm not educationally qualified to be an actor. And yet I have like 4 years of experience more than people who just graduated from college for theater. So, you know, it's but don't get me wrong, theater programs in university can absolutely be worth it and can absolutely give you connections that maybe you'll have. I know a couple people who took a class with one of the directors here at Crunchyroll, and the director really liked them and brought them in. You know,
Okay.
like you can get lucky enough if you're here in Texas for that to happen. Um,
True. It is like the mecca of voice acting.
Yeah. Well, the mecca of anime voice acting, I would say. The mecca of
Okay.
voice acting is definitely out in LA still. That I don't think
Oh,
that's going to change anytime soon. And even them are taking a lot more anime from Crunchyroll slash Funimation than they were before. And so,
wow. I didn't even know that.
oh yeah, they're getting a lot more big titles that I guess Crunchyroll is just continuously letting slip through their fingers. And so I like Netflix got Sakamoto Days, freaking Bang Zoom got Dandadan.
Oh,
Uh
oh, dang.
yeah,
Okay.
and Bang Zoom got Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen and all these huge shows and Undead
Whoever picking
Unluck.
the anime over there is not playing around. They're like,
Yeah.
Crunchyroll don't want this? Okay. We got
They're I don't know what they're doing. Either they're outbidding Crunchyroll in terms of budget, or if like they just had a deal with a certain studio and they just dub all of their properties. But before Funimation would get all the big properties,
hmm
and now it's like LA like woke up to the idea of anime, like, oh, wait a minute. Anime's pretty big. We can make a lot of money off this. And so the studios are starting to take notice and start dubbing a lot more. So the mecca of anime is still here in Texas, but LA slowly creeping in on Dallas's territory, and they still have all of the prelay animation, all of the video games, all of the a lot of the commercials, and even New York. Like New York doesn't get as much voiceover stuff as they did before. They mainly get commercials and all the video games and animation and anime is going to LA and Texas. And yeah, so but my main message, if that got lost in that spiel about the industry right now, is have a base of acting in general. Be an actor first before you're a voice actor, because if you try and act as a voice actor and you don't have that background as an actor, it's not going to sound as good as maybe an actor that you look up to. Like if you're trying to get into acting because you really like Bryce Papenbrook or Johnny Young Bosch or and newer actors, Alex Lee and Zeno Robinson. If you really like those actors and you really look up to their performances, then those guys were actors before they were voice actors. If you want to be like them, you got to get that background and those lessons of acting. It can be from a private coach. It can be from a well-known course that has worked a lot for a lot of actors. That's another thing. Do research what classes you take, and don't just take classes to take classes. Make sure those classes are something that you specifically want to work on. Like maybe you see a class that has to do with screaming. Okay, I want to get better at screaming. I'm going to take this screaming course. This course has a lot to do with anime and ADR and how dubbing works. Okay, let's do that. This one has how video games work, how video game scripts look. Well, let's do that one. Take classes will help you, but have that base of acting and be an actor before you're a voice actor. That's my main lesson.
Okay. So basically get all the research and all the information you need beforehand, and then basically go with that. That's what I'm kind of hearing.
Yeah, because having to learn how to act at the same time of having to learn how to do a microphone, interpret scripts and use a microphone and soundproof your room, and what computer are you going to use for all your projects. It's a lot of work, man. And so if maybe voice acting, like say you're in school right now, like high school or even in college, if for some reason you're like, I can't voice act until I'm out of college because my parents are like, no, you got to get a real degree, you got to get a real job. And so maybe just look for community theater. Because there's always theater around, even like in states where there's no acting happening. There's still community theater because people still want to express themselves. And so just look for any opportunity to act, to learn to act. And then when you maybe have a little more money to invest in voiceover, because I'll tell you, it's a really expensive thing to get into if you want to do it really well. Like my studio that I'm talking to you right now, this thing's worth like $5,000.
Wow, okay.
Easy, like $5,000. And I've made it all back, thankfully, through voiceover. But I was only able to do this because I was building on, like I said way earlier in the episode, I was building on my lessons from acting. And because I already had that background in acting, I just had to learn how to do the voiceover part of it. And I didn't really have to think too hard about the acting part of it.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So you can kind of go in there without having a little bit of a foothold and not have to basically do it all in the beginning. I can understand that. But my last question I want to ask you, basically, are there any ambitions or goals that you have that have yet to be fulfilled in the field of voice acting?
Oh yeah, man, tons. I want to be in Pokemon. I want to be in a huge another huge shonen show. I was in My Hero Academia, but man, I want to be in a new gen that is brand new,
Like for sure, for like Dr. Dawn or something like that.
Yeah. Like I want to be in a show that's gonna run for years. I want Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball would be awesome. I want to be in
One Piece. You sound like you should be in One Piece.
One Piece. One Piece. Yeah, I would kill to be in One Piece, dude. One Piece is the dream, man. One Piece is the dream. Hopefully one day.
For a character that hasn't had a voice yet in One Piece, who would you want to do if you could pick?
Oh, I really liked Loki's design. I'm not gonna lie. I really liked Loki's design. I have.
You think you have a voice for him?
I do. I've had a voice for him for a minute now, and of course, it's Emily Fajardo. Emily Fajardo is the director of One Piece, and she One Piece and other shows, I should say. She doesn't just direct One Piece, but she sends out a lot of auditions for One Piece whenever that stuff rolls around, and
I have my fingers crossed for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, because I know there will probably be an audition for Loki that goes out, but that even goes out to LA talent as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I do have a voice in mind.
I couldn't be friends with directors like that because I would be sending them messages like, I know you know this is about to be coming around, and I just wanted to give you just a pre-look of what I was thinking about. You know, I know y'all not auditioning right now, but when y'all do,
when you do, let me know. I'll read.
Man,
yeah, man. I've got so many goals. I want, I want to be in a Nintendo project. I want to be in a PlayStation project. I want to be in an Xbox project. And like
GTA or something.
Yeah, I want to do it all, man. And I guess that's some people
gotta have
like
that greed.
Exactly. You got to have that greed. You got to have that drive. You got to have that hunger for more. Because if you don't, then you're going to reach a mountain at some point, and then you're going to be like, well, I got to climb another mountain, I guess, because I got nothing else to do.
For sure. All right. Before we wrap up, I just want to thank you for all your amazing work and for bringing some of our favorite characters to life. I appreciate you coming on today. Before we finish, do you have a question for me or for another voice actor that may come on in the future? And I'm looking, and I think I have the voice actor for Kabuto coming on next.
Nice. I guess I would want to ask you, I mean, do you have a dream person you want to interview?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I have like a few people, certain characters from a lot of different shows that I like. If I could interview them, that would be amazing. So like from like Haikyuu, if I could interview the voice actor for Kenma, that would be amazing.
Ooh, that's good.
I think it's Clint Bickenband, if I'm remembering correctly. I also want to do the interview the voice actors for Frieza. Really, I want to do all three of them, but one of them's gone. So really just Linda and Damien, I'm thinking.
Yeah, Damon Mills.
I would love to interview him. And Alec Leak, I would love to interview him too. And majority of the cast from the Boondocks, if you've ever seen that TV show.
Yeah, the Boondocks is great.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, rest in peace, Granddad, man. That dude brought that character to life so well. So well.
Wow, man. That would be a great interview if I could interview John Witherspoon for just the amount of stuff he's done in his life would be great.
Hell yeah. Well, I hope you get to interview one of them someday, dude. I'm sure you will.
I'm working on it. And with that, we end today's episode. I want to thank you again for coming on and chatting it up with me. I had a lot of fun and learned so much more about the industry of voice acting, and hopefully you listeners did too. Before we close out, I just want to allow my guest the opportunity to plug himself. Basically tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, of course. You can find me on Instagram at, I think it's, Mao.Ortiz-Segura. And then on Twitter, it's Mao Ortiz-Segura with no dot. And then on Blue Sky, I think it's still like Mao.Ortiz-Segura, but like .Blue Sky .whatever. Yeah, Mao Ortiz-Segura .bsky.social. So
okay.
Yeah, go
Which
find
one
me on
do
all
you
the
use the most?
I definitely use Instagram a little more, but Twitter blew up in usage ever since I became a voice actor. That's for sure.
For sure. I think all the voice actors mainly use that one because you got to promote your stuff and meet other people and stuff like that. But I know it's been a big trend for everybody to move over to Blue Sky. I don't know why, but I just noticed a lot of people have been moving over there. So I had to create my own little account, see what was going on.
I mean, I got my account, so I basically just post on there what I posted on Twitter. So, I mean, no need to. Well, I don't know if I'll ever change that. Like, maybe I'll put something unique to Blue Sky, but I guess we'll see.
You never know. It might one day become more popular, you know?
Yeah.
And with that, I just want to say, peace!
Peace!
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.